no matter what I went through, I never gave up. So if you just had that mindset and like, man, I'm gonna just keep going no matter how hard this shit go, and I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel for me.
Unfortunately, sometimes you can't have fun accomplishing your goals. And then sometimes people don't have the determination, the will, and the steadfastness, the tenacity. They give in like the slightest struggle.
I realized that everybody's f***ed up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a fucking pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're gonna judge me and I'm gonna feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their f***ed up world.
Most people stop when it hurts, when it gets heavy, when it gets hard, when the silence gets loud. But there are a few who keep going when it's dark, when no one's watching and the voice in their head is telling them to give up. They bend, they bleed, they break, but they do not quit.
If you guys are in a hole right now, you cannot do the same thing and expect it to go any different. You must change your course of action if you want your results to change with it. It's hard. It is so hard to break the comfort zone, guys. But I swear, if you just grab your nuts and believe in yourself, follow what your talents are, you're passionate about, what you really love to do, follow that course. Break the fucking mold. And no matter what people say, believe in yourself, have the confidence to ride it through, knowing time does heal things. You will look back right now, this day, in that shithole you're in, drop to your knees and thank the Lord for being in that situation, because that situation was the only thing that woke your eyes up.
Quitting is a habit. If you quit the first time you run into difficulties, you'll always quit when the going gets rough. You will, in effect, establish a pattern for failure rather than a pattern for success.
You know, sometimes I think that you really forget who you are. And you have this energy about you. It's in your soul. It's just part of who you are. I can see it, other people can see it, and I know that you certainly feel it. And this energy that you have, it's gravitating you towards something great in this life. But I think that you allow daily inconveniences or worries that you have about the future or the past to get in the way of that. And it's painful to see far too many people in this world fall short of their true potential for the same reasons. They think their way out of happiness and into worry, and it takes away their ability to fully embrace the gift that they have, what makes them who they are. And ultimately, they lose sight of the path, the journey that they were put here on this earth to explore. I don't want that to be you.
Self-reliance means you simply look mostly to yourself. It would be nice if someone just gave you this, gave you this, gave you this. It would be nice if everyone did their job exactly as they're supposed to do it. But here's what you've got to do. Primarily rely on yourself. Primarily say, I'm the person responsible. And I will learn the necessary skills so that I can help people learn their skills. Self-reliance. Primarily, we're learning to count on yourself so that you can do this: never complain and never explain.
And I've come to the conclusion that you and I are capable of doing whatever we can see. If we can hold it in our head, we can hold it in our hand. We've got to step out and do different. We've got to quit playing like this is a game. We've got to treat life like what it is. It's sacred. Yet we're capable of doing anything we want. But we've got to do it. It ain't going to happen for us. You see, I think this is very important we focus on this. Focus on right now, because that is all you've got. There isn't a past, there isn't a future. Now's it. That's it. When the sand's gone, it's gone. Don't waste your time. Do you know that everybody alive gets exactly the same amount of time we get all there is? It's what we do with it that makes a difference. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're gonna figure it out.
Dreams they should be pure. I think a lot of times, when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become. And the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight. Make sure that your dreams always stay pure. And so it's not a matter of pushing beyond your limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key. And when you do that, then the world just seems limitless.
Don't underestimate yourself. And don't undervalue yourself either. You should be confident in who you are. Embrace what makes you you. Pursue that path, the journey. Fully embrace it. And it doesn't really matter what happens along the way, because it's meant for you, regardless if it's good or bad. And don't let fear paralyze you, prevent you from ever taking the first step. We're meant to prevail above all else. Any adversity that you run into along the way, it's not something to hide or cower away from, to be fearful of. It is a blessing, an opportunity to get to know and truly understand who you are. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I want to see you pursue that journey fully. Don't hold back. Please. Do not hold back.
Belief. Your external world will always be a representation of your internal world, and that your internal world is made up of your beliefs, your convictions, if you like. Another word is faith. It's what you believe or what you have faith in deep down inside. To believe in what you have faith in, what interests you, what draws you, what fascinates you, is critical. And another word is conviction. You have to believe that it is possible for you to accomplish the goal. You have to believe that it is possible for you to achieve it. For that reason, it's very important that you make your goal believable. Make it achievable. It's better to set a smaller goal at first and accomplish that, and then a larger goal and accomplish that, and then a larger goal and accomplish that.
If you're aiming towards greatness, you don't get there by what other people think. You can't make decisions based on what anyone else thinks. It doesn't work that way. I'm not changing one note with the idea of they might not like this, so I'm going to change the note. Never, ever, ever. Not one note, not one word.
You're one decision away. Literally, you are one decision away from changing. It's a decision away. You're one decision away from changing your life. I hope you make that decision tonight. And I hope you make that decision with what you do tonight.
Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second. Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. And so, That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground. In that second. And in every second. Every second counts. So, make every second count.
Someone's out there dying and you can't even wake up when your alarm goes off in the morning. Someone's out there dying and you can't even treat yourself well enough to eat healthy food. Someone wishes they had more time and you can't even get to the gym and move the body that you're so grateful to have. How far into a hole of entitlement do we have to go to learn that our lives should not be reactive? How about we stop treating ourselves well only in response to treating ourselves poorly? How about we stop hiding from our own capability just to preserve a little bit more comfort? One day, that person dying is gonna be you. And if all you have to look back on is a life of comfort and entitlement, I promise that'll be a grim finale.
Imagine for a second a world in which you are unanimously adored by millions, but you hate yourself. Are you happy? Is it worth it? And now imagine a world where you're disliked by everybody, but you love yourself. I propose that self-love you would be happier. Because ultimately, in some Taoist roundabout way, the reason we want validation from others is to give us a good enough reason to validate ourselves. And if you compromise yourself in order to gain favor with other people, you'll know. How can you expect to have faith in yourself if you can't even keep your own word? So the problem is, we sacrifice the thing that we want, which is self-worth, for the thing which is supposed to get it, which is validation. Sacrifice self-worth to get validation in the hopes that if we have sufficient validation, we will finally be able to have some self-worth.
Life is continued work. It's constant learning. You know, we should constantly be working, maybe not physically working, but we could be spiritually, emotionally working toward bettering ourselves and bettering the lives of others around us. I don't believe in getting comfortable just because everyone says you've arrived. We should never be comfortable where we are. You know, we should always be aspiring to know more and to better ourselves and to improve ourselves, you know, to improve ourselves. Because that's how we improve the world around us, by working within us.
Just stop talking. You have your vision, you have your business idea, your goal, whatever that may be. Just go. Stop telling everyone what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, because really, no one cares. You know, they might give you an, oh, that's cool, and then forget about it literally 30 seconds later. And I don't say that to be harsh, but the reality is, most people just don't care because they have their own life. So now all that you're left with is a watered down idea. You've taken away the essence that made it so special in the first place. And that's why you never end up following through. So just go. You don't need any type of validation or reassurance. You don't need anyone else's support, because this is for you. This is your purpose, your legacy, your path. You have everything you need to take that first step. And I promise you, once you get going, you will never look back.
You know who goes the furthest? The ones who value consistency over perfection. They don't stress over whether those 5 minutes are the best or the worst of their life. They just show up. They get it done. And that's the difference. The 100-hour rule says this: spend just 18 minutes a day, 100 hours a year, on any skill, any discipline, and you'll be better than 95% of the world. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every single day.
It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. You need to train that instinct. Your instinct. Train it to say, get up. Go. Fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path. No more. No more. No more excuses. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, just this one time. No more accepting the shortfalls of my own will. No more taking the easy road. No more bowing down to whatever unhealthy or unproductive thoughts that float through my mind. No. No more.
I don't want you to be a fucking loser. What if you told people the story of, hey, I had a fucked up life, but I don't want to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to go out and do it. That is what self-development is about. That is what peak performance is about. That is what breaking through self-limiting beliefs is about, is rewriting the story. Because as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as your heart is beating, as long as you have consciousness in your mind, you can go and rewrite the story of how your life ends and how your life continues from this day forward, the legacy that you live.
God made you for a purpose, on purpose. And the truth about it is, most people ain't gonna understand it because they didn't create you. Stop letting people hold this. Stop letting people that didn't create you control you. You're allowing human beings that are living their perspective and respect to it. You're allowing people that's living their life, their truths, all those things that are putting those on you, and you're feeling guilty, you're feeling bad, you're feeling like you're not enough, with people that don't even know their own worth. You're allowing people that don't even know who they are to put labels on yourself for you to question who you are.
No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more indecision. No more lies.
And say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back, and I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist.
And no more weakness. No, now is the time for strength. And through strength and through will and through unwavering discipline, I will become what I want to be. I will become who I want to be. And then, and only then, will I rest and say,
the thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is gonna kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting. Because do you have anything better to do? Why not pick the best thing possible that you could do? Because you're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. How far can you take that? If you stopped wasting time, if you stopped lying, if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that, how much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out? We're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? You want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm still going to get it.
Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story.
Rise up and aggressively move forward down the path toward victory.
I'll get around to being happy. I'll get around to making my masterpiece of my life. I'll get around to my dreams. I'm gonna get around to fixing this relationship that's broken. I'm gonna get around to feeling those emotions. And then it's another day, and they keep it in the distance until there are no more days. And I don't care if you're 18 years old listening to this, 28 or 48. We don't know if we have one more day or 100 more days or 1,000 more days. But we know this, there'll eventually be a time where we don't have any more days.
Most things that never get done because they never get started. You procrastinate. Procrastination is a killer. It kills plans, and it kills projects, and it kills dreams.
On the other side of temporary pain, you meet your other self. So all pain, no matter what it is temporary. And if you can survive it, on the other side of it, you will meet personality traits, emotions, thoughts, people, circumstances, versions of you that you didn't know existed before. I'm up here not because I'm super impressive, because I'm not. Every time I wanted to quit this business, I didn't make a decision to not quit the rest of my life. I made a decision not to quit for one more day. One more day, just don't quit. One more day, hang on.
It all starts with you. Some of you are in situations, man, that you know what it is, right? You know what it is. Maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a relationship, maybe a job, right? Some of you are in situations that you know what it is, but you're choosing to stay in it, that you're choosing to accept it. And you wonder why things ain't changing in your life. You know, you want all these things to happen for your life, but you don't want to put in the work, you don't want to put in the sacrifice, you don't want to go through the journey that sucks to get to the mountain peak that's beautiful. Some of you are choosing a lot of things in your life that's keeping you from everything that you were created to be. Everything.
Your feelings don't matter. You may feel like doing something, maybe you don't feel like doing something, doesn't matter. Get out there and do what you're supposed to do, whether you feel like it or not.
Use what you have. And a lot more people have pain. A lot more people have anger. A lot more people have shame. And if you can use that
as your gas in the beginning, you'll eventually get to a point where you can get out of that loop and then find something that you are really passionate about. Tony Robbins quote, but it's just when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. And I think that pain moves people far, far more effectively than pleasure does.
They aren't going to see your vision unless you do the work. Unless you type those words, cut that wood, write that code, unless you do the work, the world will never see your vision. And all that splendor and all that glory will be known only to you. Unless you bring it to light.
You got to bet on you. You believe in everybody else, you clap for everybody else, you support everybody else, you're baking cakes and making cooking for everybody else. But when are you gonna look in the mirror and believe in the darn person you see?
I prefer negative visualization, which is, what if I keep doing what I'm currently doing for the next 10 years? What will my life look like then? That usually takes my current pain and then just magnifies it. And then that allows me to get my action threshold high enough that it goes over the edge so that I can take that first move. And so if you know what the inputs outputs are of what you need to do, and you figure out whatever fuel you've got, not the one you wish you had, but the one you've got, and you use that to do the first input, you cross the line. You're in the game.
To overcome that fear, you have to pull the trigger. You have to initiate action. So do not pause in that moment. Fight the procrastination with violence of action and get done the things you need to get done, and get them done now.
I want you today to decide, I am going to become disciplined. That should be your only fucking goal. Because if you develop the ability to say no to the guys' nights, to the alcohol, if you develop that discipline, how different will your life look a year from now?
On the one side, you can make your ideas about what you would like to have, where you would like to be. This is the one side. So your focus is on what you would like to have, where you would like to be. Other question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Through how many different pains, conflicts, challenges are you willing to go through? Because there is something that goes hand in hand. Like walking up the mountain. Walking to the peak is not going to get more easy. The higher the altitude, the more difficult it becomes. The challenges are not going to get easier the higher you reach.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain, because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
Being a human being is not easy as opposed to an animal because we're born and nobody gives us a direction. And it's a very, very difficult process. You wake up in the morning and you don't really know what you can do. You could choose 12 different paths. It can be very confusing and very overwhelming. When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction. Everything has a purpose. Your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that could ever happen to you, because you never have that lost feeling. You wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, this is what I need to accomplish.
Yesterday ended last night. If you were successful, I got something for you. It ended last night. You can't live on yesterday's success. If you failed, I got good news for you. It ended last night. Today matters. We over-exaggerate yesterday, we overestimate tomorrow, and we underestimate today. And it's today what matters.
Fastest way to losing yourself is to try and make everyone else happy. The best thing you can do is be a true north. Be you. Shine your light. Know what your core values are. Know what your belief system is. Know what your morals and your character should be. And live by that.
I learned recently how grateful I am for storms. Quiet skies don't show you how strong you are. Calm doesn't force you to level up. No, it's when the ground shakes we learn to endure. We're forced to find within ourselves a resilience that was once tucked away. They say confidence is earned, and well, it's earned because when we walk through hell, we give our greatness permission to walk alongside us.
The perfect moment has already come and gone, time after time, but you're sitting here still waiting for it. You think it's gonna knock on your door and say, hey, I'm the perfect moment, I'm here. But the truth is, there's two types of people. The person that says, oh, I don't really care, I'm gonna die one day. What does it matter? Or there's the person that says, I've got one life and I'm going to live it.
My definition of a creative life is any life where your decisions are routinely based more strongly on your curiosity than your fear every single day in all your realms of your life. And then your life itself will become a work of art, and it doesn't matter what you make or produce or leave or influence. It's just that you will create a life that will be really interesting for you.
You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. Hard times last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime.
It's always darkest before the sun breaks in the morning. It's always darkest. But you know the sun is going to come up. Think of the sun. Think how dark it is before the sun comes up. When you're down and you see no hope or no way out of your condition, and you're seething in these emotions, try to remind yourself, do you think the sun is going to come up, or is it not going to come up? The sun always comes up, and that's your hope.
You think that big changes are what are going to make you happy. That's not the answer. What makes you happier are the little things. Happiness is the smallest things, because your whole life is made up of all the little things that you do every single day. That's how you build a happier life. So pay attention to when you wake up, the first thing you look at every morning. Being kinder to yourself. The little things are everything, because they add up to one big happy life.
Real self-worth comes from doing hard things. We keep talking about self-love. We keep talking about loving yourself, believing in yourself. That happens naturally when you go through something difficult.
The day that turns your life around
And under this subject, we're going to talk about the emotions that can change your life. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions are powerful for life change. Now, of course, emotions are so powerful, they can go either way on you. Emotions can either build or destroy. So you really have to employ emotions properly. We call civilization the intelligent management of human emotions. If you can intelligently apply your emotions in the right direction, no telling what can happen. Could turn your life around one day would be sufficient.
You have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to become someone who is literally incapable of quitting.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
Don't cheat yourself. Don't sabotage your dreams by chasing cheap dopamine. Delay your gratification. Understand that the game is long and the road is difficult, and that you're by yourself. And if you cheat yourself, well, you're going to be cheated by everybody else. Level up, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and don't do the things in life that are going to set you back. That which you know you're not supposed to do, you don't do it. The life that you have is the life that you chose. If the life that you have is not a life that you like, make different choices. So if the life that you have is not a life that you enjoy, you are responsible.
Cling to it. Things will get better once you get over this downtime. And the difficulty is that people can't think of that when they're so depressed and so hopeless and they reach bottom. They can't visualize that things will ever get better. But for those who have courage and have faith and hope that things will get better in my life, they can look back a few years later and say, wow, look at me now. Some have it and some don't. Some will stay down, they will never get up off the floor. And others will endure, and they have courage and they have hope, and life will get better. It always does.
Loneliness is a timeless thing, tragically. Stoicism is founded in a moment of loneliness. Zeno loses everything in a shipwreck. Seneca's best writings come from exile when he's sent far away from the people that he loves. Marcus Aurelius is the most powerful man in the world, but also by the very nature of his power and responsibility and fame, he was isolated, he was lonely, just as you might be today.
You have to start looking at uncertainty and transition and that feeling of, I know there's much more to me, as a positive and not a negative, and start leaning into it. Because let me tell you something, there is so much more to you. Like, you haven't even figured out who you fully are yet. Like, that is a beautiful thing, to know that there's still more to discover about yourself. There's still more to learn about yourself, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to know that, right? And so often we just allow fear, doubt, or I want to control everything to keep us from exploring that, from really, really, you know, stepping out of our shell and expanding who we really are.
Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for the sun to shine, the temperature to be right, all the stars to align, and then have some sort of sign that tells them to go. And I'm here to tell you guys that will never happen. Conditions will never be perfect. Things will never align. There will always be a reason for you to put off what should be done right now for a later time. That is a success and life truth.
There's two ways to see the world. Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want.
Don't spend your life living for other people, being a box checker for what feels right to them. Put yourself first. There's nothing worse than living with regret. So take a risk, bet on yourself, do the thing that nobody thinks you can do. Shock the world, What do you have to lose?
A blade does not become strong until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot and it melts you down and you're uncomfortable. You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left. And it takes time. Embrace the process. You say, Dwayne, what process? Life. Embrace the journey and the process of life.
But as a matter of conscious experience, the reality of your life is always now. And I think this is a liberating truth about the nature of the human mind. In fact, I think there's probably nothing more important to understand about your mind than that, if you want to be happy in this world. The past is a memory. It's a thought arising in the present. The future is merely anticipated. It is another thought arising now. Okay, what we truly have is this moment.
It will not be easy. You will get knocked down. You will be copied. People may even try to destroy you. You will feel like giving up, and it absolutely will be worth it. If world class was easy, everyone would be doing it.
That people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. Work on yourself. What do you want to choose to focus on? When we commit to self-mastery, we give ourselves the best shot of becoming the best and greatest versions of ourselves that we can be. And then we get to become the example and the invitation to others. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
The life, the existence that we are living is connected with suffering. So the reason why we suffer is either because of greed, we want more than we need, of hate, we get something we don't want to have, or ignorance, or sometimes called not knowing, because we don't know the outcome of our actions.
You were born to do something great with your life. You were not born for any other reason. Now, it could be in a big way or a small way. You were born to do something special with your life. And when you were a little boy or a little girl, there was probably somebody, I pray, but I bet you there was somebody who made you feel a particular way about you. As I got older, that feeling went away because the rest of the world didn't make me feel that. I want you to picture the face of that person who made you feel that way. I don't care if it was your mom, they could be gone now, right? Okay, let me tell you something about them, okay? They were right.
You have no idea when lightning is going to strike in your life. But I stay wildly attuned to the potential magic, right? And it's like always paying attention because like the universe is trying to give you what you want. The universe is fighting so hard to give you what you want, and you're just missing it.
Patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work, the discipline of patience, right? Because we all talk about hustle, we talk about working hard, we talk about grinding, this, that, and the third, but nobody talks to you about patience. Nobody speaks about that patience, because in the patience, that's where you gonna make it or you gonna break.
All great things in life come from delayed gratification, from like the ability to say, I know that the thing I want is on the other side of something that sucks. Every single thing you want in life is on the other side of something that sucks. Be willing to endure that in order to get the thing you want.
Our issue is depth perception. We think it's further away than it is. And because we think it's so far away, we create patterns and behaviors in our life that perpetually keep it there. And that's what we do in our life. But what if that's the great lie of life? And what if the truth is that you're one relationship away, one meeting away, one conversation, one new thought, one new emotion, one new tactic or strategy,
away from completely changing the trajectory of your life.
And this thing that people do, they avoid discomfort. It sounds ridiculous, but it just creates more discomfort. You don't realize that in embracing discomfort and forcing yourself to do something very uncomfortable that you can control.
I am happy if I discover limits. This can be physical limits, it can be limits in terms of strength, it can be limits in terms of your level of stamina, because always when I hit them, I know this is my next project. This is the next area in my life right now, which is directly being mirrored in front of my eyes. This is your limitation. And so on the one side, this is motivating to me, but on the other side, it also just cultivates this constant drive, this constant fire.
The most difficult thing is keeping your goal and your eyes set on that and not being distracted. I think the easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to continue to hold on. And I would imagine for so many people out there, that is probably the most difficult thing.
It's not about what was or what could be, but what is, and being where your feet are and putting yourself in a position to appreciate. Even if you want more and you aim towards achieving more, be grateful for what you have.
And this. And we spend most of our lives forgetting this truth, repudiating it, fleeing it, overlooking it. And the horror is that we succeed. We manage to never really connect with the present moment and find fulfillment there because we are continually hoping to become happy in the future. And the future never arrives.
You're not going to find yourself overnight. You're not going to become everything you hope to become in a day. Everything takes time. You're not supposed to know everything about how your story unfolds. You grow by making small decisions over and over again. So be patient and give yourself time, because even with all the uncertainty, one thing's for sure, you will get there.
Just remember, slow progress is better than no progress. Just stay positive and never give up. You will get there.
If you're gonna do it, the older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. Come on, do it. We have created a fictitious ceiling, a roof, to our expectations of ourselves. Life's not easy. We're all destined to have to do the thing that we fear the most anyway. The money comes in, break comes, just you gotta keep living, man. Oh no, bro. Hell is a one-way street. Whichever way I go. Say what you can do what you say. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would, that keeps me up to half-ass something you just don't know. Whether you failed or succeeded, you got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out, looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out. That's a green risk. Yeah. What you're about to say and do will outlive you. Do it well. If life was nothing but green lights and we didn't have yellows or reds, things that make us pause, hardships, crises, times for introspection, then what the hell would it all be for? We need the yellows and the reds. That's how we evolve.
That's how hopefully there's some ascension to our being. If anything, I would say to my 50-year-old self, go fail more. If anything, I would say to you, go fail more. Forget them. Those people on the sideline that are saying the thumbs down or calling you something or being snarky, they're on the sidelines for a reason. If you're not getting past this today, this week, this month, this year, all of a sudden a decade goes by and you're still hung up and you can't get rid of that thing. If it's holding you back from going where you want to go, maybe you should just deny that thing ever happened. Kick it in the head. Kick it off the curb. I'm done with you. I'm sick of you. I'm tired of hanging out with you. I'm tired of that thing, whatever it is, holding me back from going where I want to go. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. See, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. And we like to say, no, freedom and light is the one that carries. Man, I don't know. That's maybe too evolved for us to really grab hold of. Rage and anger and revenge are mighty powerful emotions right here. And this is the beauty of delayed gratification. I'd tee yourself up. Do yourself a favor. Make the choices, the purchases today that pay you back tomorrow. The choices we make compounding assets of our future. You need to hold yourself more accountable. Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. There's a responsibility to freedom, and that there is freedom in responsibility. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. But the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with? They gossip too much or kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. Or how about that food that we keep eating? That stuff that tastes so good going down, it makes us feel like crap the next week. When we feel lethargic, when we keep putting on weight. Or how about that? For those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. And you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. So get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. It's so much easier to figure out who you're not. And if you start eliminating the who I'm not, by sheer mathematics, you end up
Mr. Monroe Wills was 94 years old. And he said, Grandpappy said, can you give me some advice for life? And Grandpappy says, oh yeah, Monty.
Best advice I can give you is this. I've had many crises in my life. Most of them never happened.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.